What's going on, guys? Today we're working on changing up the look again on the Celica. Specifically, we're going to be working on these wheels. Now, if you've been following, you've seen these wheels have been on the Celica for about a majority of the time that I've owned it. I've just recently put on these XXRs. I've been running these for about 2 months, and I love how these look. But if you can tell by the weather, there's leaves on the ground. It's getting cold. I just picked up a bunch of leaves, and I need to throw on the winter soon, which are these tires. So these are the wheels that I chose to use in the winter. Even last year I had winter tires on these, and I just used winter tires all year round because I just didn't have another set of wheels to throw on the car. But anyways, so these need to go back on the car soon, but before that I really want to fix how they look. I really like how the white looks, but this paint is really bad. It's very dirty. It's kind of turned into like an off-white. Like, it's dirty, but like even if I clean it, it looks off-white, and it's not that great to look at. I also never liked this red stripe thing that's going around the rim, and there's a lot of flaking going on. This is the worst one. It's flaking. The rest don't look too bad. So anyways, today we're going to try and repaint these, and hopefully it goes well. So usually when I paint stuff, there's a couple conditions that I like to paint in. It needs to be like a warm day, and it needs to be not windy, and it needs to be sunny, like no moisture in the air and stuff. And it's getting cold now, so I've kind of missed my chance for a day like that. Every day is kind of cold and cloudy, so not ideal, but this is the warmest day all week, so hopefully, you know, it's enough to work. So to get these things prepped for paint, we're just gonna scuff them down first. I'm probably gonna sand them with what is it, like 400 grit, get them scuffed, and then we can mask up the tires. So we got 2 wheels prepped, or scuffed down, and you can see now these look way brighter than those, which is interesting. I guess because it got off all the oxidized paint on the top layer, I guess. Anyways, yeah, so I'm using my sanding machine to scuff the faces of the spokes, and then for all these tight areas I'm just doing it by hand with the sandpapers, so it's taking a long time. But prep's really important to make sure the paint sticks. So I'm gonna finish these 2, and then hopefully we can start painting really soon. So we're almost ready to start painting. I'm done sanding them all. I've taped off the valve stems, and I laid down a bunch of cardboard. So now I'm using these cards to cover up the edge. I literally just bought a brand new deck of cards, and because it's the easiest way to cover up the tire, and I could do it. It's so fast using these cards as well. If I was to tape this up by hand, like, I don't know how long that would take, but this method takes like just a couple minutes at most, not even. Okay, we're finally ready to start painting, and I gotta say, it kind of looks cool with all the cards around it. But anyways, this is the color. It's called, what is it called? Antique Brass. I got this from Home Depot. It's a primer and a paint, so that's why we're not using any primer, and I'm not using any clear coat either, because these wheels are for the winter, and you know, I want them to look nice, but I don't care a whole lot about them. So yeah, let's just begin. Hopefully it turns out okay. Yo, immediately we have paint splatter. This is not automotive paint, it's just like general paint. So I gotta change kind of how I use it or how I spray. Okay, so that was the first coat, and it's not looking great. It's not looking that great, I will say. I'll admit it. But hopefully, maybe 3 coats, and this should be a nice even color, I hope. Hopefully it sticks well. I only went up to, I think, 120 grit, so like really rough, because this paint is kind of thick. So probably will be fine. Probably. Alright, so we're gonna put our second coat down. It said to put light coats, like really light coats, every 5 minutes. If you want like a uniform finish, that's what it said on the can. So we're gonna do maybe, I don't know how many coats, but we're just gonna keep going every 5 minutes until it looks like the color on the cap. Alright, so we're 2 coats in. It's looking a lot better, but I can still see a lot of the black paint that's like showing through. You see a lot right there. Right now I'm just trying to really get the sides. I can't tell how much is left in the can. Maybe half, maybe less than. I have 3 cans in total, and I thought 2 would be enough, but I brought a third just in case. And I really wanted to only use 2 because these are like 25 bucks each. So yeah, I was gonna return the third one, but it looks like we might need it. Okay, so here are the wheels. They're finally done. I put on, I think, 5 coats in total. This is how it looks. It's not going to be perfect. Obviously, we're painting outside, and there's wind, and there's leaves blowing around everywhere. So I'm sure there's like dust and stuff like stuck in here, but it's not. I'm not going to let it bother me. I did have to use all 3 cans though, which was unfortunate. I think midway through I started spraying it kind of heavy, and that was I shouldn't have done that, because now some areas they look kind of wavy, like there's some orange peel, and I can't like wet sand this since this is all one coat, or I mean it's all base coat. Still looks kind of shiny right now, but this is supposed to be like a satin finish. That's what I was going for. So I think once it dries completely, it should have a more it should be less glossy once it's dry. So we're gonna let this dry for maybe 10-20 minutes, and then I gotta put them inside the garage. I'm not gonna take the cards off of them until they're like fully dry, I think. I'm not sure what's the... Maybe I should take them off before I put them in. I'm not sure. Once they're in the garage, we're gonna leave them in there for like a couple days, and then we can take them out, see how they look. I got them all in the garage now. It was terrifying, but I managed to do it. I got them laid out on all the tire stacks. I have way too many tires right now, but just ignore that. But yeah, there are 1 on each stack, so that they all can nothing's touching the faces, and they can dry properly. Man, let me tell you, when I was putting these up here, it's so tempting to just grab the spokes, because that's how I always lift up my wheels. But yeah, let me know what you think of the color. How did it turn out? So obviously I'm trying to make these look like real TEs, I guess, like that bronze that comes on the TEs. It's iconic. It looks so good, but these just don't look like it quite. This is a pretty good paint for like an off-the-shelf paint can. The one thing is that they're kind of like, they're bronze, but they're more on the gold side of bronze, and the color I wanted is like bronze, but it was more towards copper. You know, I'll try to put a picture of what I mean, but you know, they're just like, you can see like yellowness in them. That's like the gold I'm talking about. If you draw, you know what I mean. You know, if you like to paint and shit, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah. Alright, let's do a quick cost breakdown of how much it cost me to paint these wheels. So the 3 paint cans, they were $25 each, and so like after tax it was $80 for all those cans. It was from Home Depot. That's Canadian prices. And then the playing cards that I put around the rims, I bought those brand new from the dollar store for what was it, $3 for 2 packs. So 2 packs was enough to cover all the wheels. So I guess what else? There's the sanding stuff. I already had that stuff from before, so I don't know how I would include that. I guess I'm just not gonna. Sandpaper is not super expensive. I think the round discs that I was using, the 120 grits, they're like $10 for a stack of those. So materials spent is 83, and even if you include the sandpaper, it's under $100 to paint these. The time it took to actually do it was a long time. Total prep time, roughly 4 hours, and then I spent, I think, an hour painting with like 5-minute gaps between each coat. Alright, check it out. These are the wheels after they're fully dried. It's been about 2 weeks, I think. I actually, a week after they were painted, I looked at them and I really liked how they looked, and I wanted to protect them, so I ended up buying some clear coat. I bought 2K clear in the satin finish, and I went over all the wheels with them. They looked pretty much exactly the same. It didn't really change the finish at all. So I let them dry, and now they are completely done with the clear on, and now we can put them on the car. And we're just in time because literally this weekend or next week it's going to snow, so it's really important that I put these on right now. So here's what they look like outside the garage. It's a little bit lighter when I bring them outside, just because they're so reflective. We've also got the Lexus wheels out. These are the winters for the Lexus on the stock wheels. So we're just going to do this at the same time as these. You know, I was kind of iffy about it, but seeing them on the car, I think this color was the right choice. Because this looks awesome. I just need to lower this thing and it would look perfect. But that's something for the future. Anyway, let's get the rest all on. But let me know, what do you think? Was this the right choice, this color? Or should I have done something else? So obviously at this point it's getting pretty late in the day, so it's a little hard to see, but I've included some photos I took over the next 2 weeks, and it shows off how it looks in different lighting. I hope you enjoyed. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.